Second. They haven't gotten that much run this year, you know. They got stuck. Lakers survive after nearly blowing a 19-point lead. Lakers back up to 500 now, bouncing back from that 3 overtime loss. As we welcome you back in here to Studio B, some extra coverage. We'll get you a full recap of the entire 5-game Sunday here in a moment, including Steph creeping closer and closer to Ray Allen's all-time three-point mark, and the Bucks looking really good. But it's the Lakers here who get a win. LeBron, 33. Anthony Davis, 24, and 25 for Russell Westbrook. Sean Powell from NBA.com is with us. Steve Smith, Jared Greenberg. So what do you make of this one? Obviously, a win's a win, but are the Lakers going to take much from this one?
Well, your 3 stars stepped up. They combined for 82 points. They're averaging over 20 points a game this season. Basically, they did what they had to do. But that's pretty much about it. They almost blew a game. The league got slippery there at the fourth quarter. The Lakers were sloppy at times. They've been sloppy at times this season. So you take away a win, obviously, because you had to have that. But there are still some things they need to clear up.
Let's hear from LeBron James, who, after the win, chatted with Mike Trudell.
All right, LeBron, you've talked about this season going to be a process. You starting to figure anything out? Like that third quarter seemed to be one of the better stretches you've had so far.
Yeah, I mean, we won 5 out of our last 8 third quarters. We'll make it 6 out of 9 now. You know, we came in with a lot of intensity defensively, got out and ran, made some shots. We shared the ball, worked possessions, and I just believe when we work possessions from side to side and we don't get stagnant, you know, we're a really good team. And in that third quarter, we did that.
We noticed you took a little shot going to the rim there. Are you good?
Yeah, I'll be all right. You know, still working through it. You know, it's I think my 3rd game back, you know, since the injury. So just every game is getting better and better. But every now and then I can feel a little bit down there. But, you know, it didn't linger too much. So that's a good thing.
Defensively, what are the things that you want to see your team start to get better at as the season goes on, and really just the next couple of games go on?
A few things. One is not putting teams to the free throw line, so, you know, not fouling. 2, getting back in transition. We did some possessions were really good, some we were not. And then last, defensive rebounding. You know, once we played great defense for 23, 24, 22 seconds, we got a clean glass. So, you know, I want to continue to.
All right, it's LeBron with Mike Trudell there. LeBron, you know, kind of brushing off the question from Mike Trudell about clearly grabbing his stomach, his abdomen area, which cost him several games a couple of weeks ago. And this is just his 3rd game back. He said, I could feel a little something down there. The internet may run off with that one for a while, but what do you make of this? I mean, that's an injury that can linger for a long time unless you get a long period off. The engine of this team, right? And I think the issues, you know, we were talking about earlier, when LeBron's not playing, like almost all the teams we saw over the years, is that he runs the offense, he runs the show, and then things kind of fall apart when he's not there. So you look at an injury like this and you wonder, if this is going to be an issue all year long, do they have the pieces around him to stay above water?
Well, that's where Anthony Davis comes in, and he has to carry the team. And he has struggled with that role. I mean, when LeBron is out. I mean, this is almost like the Anthony Davis back in New Orleans where, you know, they're asking you to help this team win, fill the void, step up, be big time pretty much every night. He hasn't been that way because of his shooting from three-point line, from the three-point stripe. Even the mid-range shot hasn't fallen for him. And with LeBron, I mean, you're a little bit concerned, Smitty. I mean, these are not major injuries that are keeping him out an entire season, but they're just adding up. And then you wonder what's next. What's the next body part that's going to fail him?
You know, I won't say the Lakers have had an easy schedule. I'll say that they've had a favorable schedule, and they have not been able to take advantage of it, although they did get a win tonight, and that is a good thing for the Lakers. Is there any part of you that feels with this veteran-laden team that as the calendar turns to December and the schedule gets significantly more challenging, that these guys get up for that task more because of who the opponents are?
Yeah, I think so, Jared. But I think also for me the question is, you know, around 20, 25 games, I know they've had some injuries. You started to round out good teams of what's their identity, what's their style of play, how they win games defensively. They get out in fast break turnovers. I think with this Lakers team, they shoot three-pointers. They pound the ball inside. We know the rotation. We have none of these answered right now.
Right.
Is the ball going to be in LeBron's hand or Russell's hands? Are they going? AD's going to play 5 or 4? Are they going to pound it inside? Or are they going to shoot threes? Who's coming off the bench? Who's their defensive stopper? And I know Nunn is not there. Not Trevor Reeves is not there. They can help. But you cannot tell me, Laker fans, these two guys are the answer to all your problems. It's more than that because you have some potential 6 Hall of Famers. We went from 5 to 6. Yeah. And I still think they got to find a way to finish games. You should be able to at least finish games if nothing else is going. Make the right play. Might not make the shot, but make the right plays.
I understand they've had a ton of injuries to significant pieces, but I still go back to what Frank Vogel said during the exhibition portion of the schedule, saying he hoped going into opening night he would know what his starting 5 was for the duration of the season. Obviously, you're going to have injuries pop up here and there, but every night it's a different story. Is AD starting at the 5? Tonight, Dwight Howard gets a DNP, a healthy scratch. Yeah. He's starting games, and he's not playing tonight because they wanted to get some other guys some run. And it feels weird that they just don't know any of this. And at times, Carmelo Anthony and LeBron James were the 4 and 5 on the court tonight.
DeAndre Jordan, is he playing? Some games he doesn't play. THT, I know he's been out. What role is he playing? He's coming off the bench or not? And then you have Avery Bradley.
Who's struggling to shoot the ball.
Struggling to shoot the ball, but he's their one guy, I think, that changes the game defensively from a single guy individually. So there's so many questions right now. All that can be answered because you have some great players that can start to play better, like Anthony Davis. All the numbers we've stated that he wasn't playing well, but if he gets to knocking down shots, he gets to dominate. And I think if we stay Anthony Davis so much and people run to his stats are fine. We're just seeing his presence on the court. He has to be the number one guy until we get to postseason, in my opinion.
He had great stats in New Orleans. They didn't win very many games. He's got to have an impact on winning and be consistent night in and night out. Lakers took advantage of this rematch with the Pistons tonight after everything that went down last Sunday. They'll have another rematch game coming up on Tuesday when they take on the Sacramento Kings, a team they lost to in 3 overtimes this past Friday. We've got a lot on the game. Hit 7 more threes. Just unbelievable. His 100th game of 7 or more threes in his career. The Warriors getting it done on both sides of the basketball. They've won their 7th in a row. And now, Steph saying that Sunday really proved to be a good test against the Clippers for what is to come, which they hope is a long run in the playoffs.
It's huge because, we obviously know this could be like a playoff type atmosphere where, it was kind of a defensive stalemate in the first half, and everything was just hard to come by, and you have to find a way to, just grind out a win, no matter how it looks. And we've obviously built our identity on the defensive end, and that's huge because it travels. And in a game like tonight, you can look at like Jordan Poole, who was struggling, for most of the game. I think he hit 4 threes in the third quarter and really gave us, some life. And it's all about your perspective and your energy. And I told him, just stay locked in, keep your mentals right, because, good things will happen over the course of 48. And to your point, that's what we pride ourselves on.
John, I told you that before the show. Keep your mentals right. And you clearly are doing that. But, hey, that emotion from Steph Curry seemed to trigger something.
A spicy Steph is a good step for the Warriors. I think he probably felt his team needed a shake-up. He gets a technical.
Ray Allen for the all-time 3-point lead, but it was his defense, Smitty, that really impressed and stood out Sunday.
Not only just Sunday, throughout this entire season and last season, he is doing something on this defensive end where he used to be a line. Nice job.
Well, it sets up for a huge matchup Tuesday night on TNT between the best versus the second best. The Suns are unstoppable right now. They've won 16 in a row. They weren't overlooking the Nets on Saturday, looking ahead to Tuesday night.
The hottest team in the NBA, it's not really the Golden State Warriors, it's the Phoenix Suns. And they have such great balance. Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Ayton, all playing well. They've got, they can play up-tempo, half-court. So it's a great challenge for the Warriors, particularly the Warriors' defense. Who are they going to double team? What kind of sacrifices are they going to make? Can they live up to Draymond Green's proclamation that this is the best defensive team in the NBA?
It comes down to the Warriors for me. Can they stop the size and strength and the rebounding and the inside presence of JaMale McGee and DeAndre Ayton? And then on the other side for me is the Phoenix Suns. Can someone else besides Chris Paul make plays for others? They have some guys that can do it. I just want to see them do it at a level against